How do you impress someone that you admire? You want to interact with them. Maybe you're hoping for some engagement, some response. You're hoping that they're going to like you, that they'll want to work with you, that they'll hire you, that they'll partner with you, that they'll date you, depending on if it's someone that you find attractive, you admire them in that way. Whatever it is, how do you impress them? Because that's what we want, right? We want to walk over to that person or reach out to that person via email and have a great connection or a great response. We don't want to be ignored. We don't want to be rejected. And I want to share 3 tips in this video with you that can help you actually make that happen. You ready? Here we go. First things first. Actually, this is step 0 before any of those tips is actually let go of the need to make any specific impact on them. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but I'm going to share 3 specific things you can do. But if you're coming at it from like, I got to impress you, I need this to happen, I need to, that when you're attached in that way, it repels. So if you feel like I'm needing something from you, even if it's subtle, it's going to have a repelling effect. Whether it's I need you to like me or I need you to be impressed by me. So remember that. And the way you do that is before you take this action, before you go approach that person, whatever, you're going to take a breath in and let it out and remind yourself of the truth, which goes like this. I don't need anything from this person. And isn't that true? Like you might want them to like you. You might want them to be impressed by you, but you don't need it. As soon as you need it, it's repelling, right? So that's the ground, that's the baseline that we're starting from. Now, assuming you have that to some degree handled, then what do you do? Well, the first thing is you got to stand out. Right? Because maybe they have a lot of people that approach them. Maybe they get a lot of emails, maybe they get a lot of things. So you got to stand out. How do you stand out? Well, the easiest way to stand out is going to be bold. And what I love about this one is you don't have to be the greatest. You don't have to go up to them and say like, oh, I have and start spouting your accolades and first of all, if you're trying to do that, the old impress them by just name dropping and throwing about all the stuff that you've done, 99% of the time, that's not going to work. It's repelling because it's trying too hard. So instead, you be bold. How do you be bold? Sometimes you just walk right up to, if it's in person, you literally just walk up to the person. A large amount of people will never do that. Or if they do it, they're kind of like, hi, can I have something from you? Whether it's your attention or sign this or, hey, I need to, do this thing for me, or do you want to work with me on this? Like people just, they approach, but it's like the needy or demanding or just like kind of ingratiating. Like, you're so great. Bold as you walk right up to the person. Hey there, how you doing? I'd like to ask you this question. Or I'm Aziz, what's your name? Okay, great. Like you just bold, you walk right up to them. And there's this whole cloud and this whole story of like, oh, but how are they going to go? How are they going to react? Or, oh, they're too big for me. They're too important for me. Look, if you interact with them in that way, you will get that response back. Because if you're diminishing yourself, you're energetically saying, I'm not worthy of you. You approach them, they feel that. And they're like, oh, they might take pity on you, but they're not going to see you as a peer. They're not going to see you as an equal. So you got to approach them as an equal. And that's probably a whole nother bigger topic around confidence about how do you see yourself as an equal around anyone and everyone. That's a key step, is approaching with that boldness, that directness. Okay, number 2 is you got to add value. This is where a lot of people go wrong. It's like, me, give me something, me, right? You got to add value. You got to say, hey, this is what I would like. And this one tripped me up for a long time because I would diminish myself. Like, I don't know if I can add value, or I don't know enough, or I'm not smart enough, or what would that person want from me? And what I started to do is I just started to actually think about, what could I contribute? What could I give this person? How could I add value to this person? And, it was just the smallest things. You don't even have to know. You don't have to plan it all out. I remember there was this woman I wanted to connect with. And she was a prominent author and didn't know me. I was kind of like, well, shot in the dark, just reach out, ignored. Okay, fair enough. And then I was listening to an interview that this person did, and they were talking about something in one of their family members. And just as I was listening to it, I was like, there's a book that makes me think of. And I bet this person would like that book. So I email again, bold, say, hey, listen, I emailed a while back, I'm Aziz. I was listening to your interview on such and such, and I thought that you might like this book. Check it out. And I threw an Audible link in the thing and left it. And she responded. Why? Because I'm adding value. I'm thinking about what could I give? And that's the simplest question. How can I help? How can I give? What can I give this person? How can I help them? And sometimes it's just your presence. Sometimes it's just your attention. Sometimes it's just attentive questioning and curiosity and really caring. It goes a long way, especially if you can think about, what does their team need? What do their family members need? Just from what they're sharing, like, is there anything that I could offer this person? Maybe a referral, someone else's name, a book, something, right? So you're bold, you're adding value. And then step 3 is like vulnerably asking. Because so often, again, you're going to get a trend across these, or a theme here, which is it's all about avoiding rejection. We don't boldly approach because we don't want to get rejected. We don't want to add value because we're like, oh, is it valuable enough? And maybe they won't like it, so I'm going to get rejected. And the third thing is asking vulnerably. And we try to be polished. We try to be perfect. We try to pretend like we don't care, but we do. And so just asking. And so I remember there's this other person I connected with, and I was having a great conversation with them. And, I was like, they said something. Oh, this person, I was trying to get this person to see if they would write a blurb for one of my upcoming books. And they said, no, I don't. I only write blurbs for, people that I'm friends with. And sorry about that. And so after this conversation, we connected, and I was like, so I don't know how to say this in the right way, but you mentioned that you only write blurbs for people who are your friends. I want to be your friend. Now, it doesn't mean you have to write me a blurb or anything, but I just really love talking to you. I really enjoy this, and I would love to do more of this. And the person laughed, and they're like, oh, that's great. Tell me about your book again. All of a sudden the doors open. So there's this vulnerability. I'm not perfect. I was a little bumbly there, but it was just authentically what was coming up in me. I was like, this person's awesome. I want to be friends. And look, you might have your own style. You might roll your eyes at that. And look, every environment is different. This happened to be a moment of connection between two humans that I could feel. And I just felt, hey, this is a chance to be real. In my experience, I'm going to bet on being real and authentic and vulnerable every single time. Yeah, sometimes people will be like, oh, I don't like that, or I don't want, there's still a no. And that's okay, because we come back to what? I don't need anything from this person. I might want something from them, but I don't need anything from them. And if you remember that, you don't need anything from them, and you come in with boldness, aka directness, aka here I am, and you find a way to add value by connecting, by listening, by saying, what does this person need? How can I give? How can I contribute? How can I help? And then you ask with vulnerability. You will connect with people. You will impress people. They will like you. They want to help you. They want to contribute to you because you're showing up powerfully as a giver. Beautiful. Share below. What do you think? What have you found is useful? Share in the comments. I love reading those. Until we speak again, may you have the courage to be who you are and to know on a deep level that you're awesome. We'll talk to you soon.